The headlines are relentless: trillion-dollar budgets, new weapons contracts, and endless deployments. Every day, the news cycle is dominated by these figures, painting a picture of a world constantly on the brink of conflict. The numbers are staggering, but the real story is how this spending has become the main event, not just a response to threats. It's a cycle that feeds itself, growing larger with each passing year. This is a machine, deliberate, profitable, and designed to turn national defense into permanent business. It's a well-oiled system, where every part plays a role in maintaining its momentum. The incentives are everywhere, in DC boardrooms, on factory floors, and in stock market surges with every new conflict. Each decision made is a calculated move to keep the system thriving. The shocking truth? The spending itself is now the goal, a jobs program, economic stimulus, and political tool. It's a multifaceted approach that intertwines economics with national security. Every crisis is a business opportunity, documented in budget requests and corporate earnings calls. These moments are seized upon, turning potential threats into financial gains. The system hums, demanding to be fed, with every new technology and deployment trailing billions in contracts. It's a relentless cycle of innovation and expenditure. Each missile, tank, and soldier is a transaction, the result of choices made after World War II, not to demobilize, but to monetize. This decision has shaped the modern landscape of defense. This is the world we live in, a system running hot by design. It's a carefully constructed reality where the lines between defense and business blur, creating a perpetual state of readiness. To understand today's system, we go back to 1945. The war ended, but the factories didn't fully shut down. Instead of returning to peacetime, leaders saw the wartime economy as a powerful engine. The fear of economic stagnation led to a new idea: keep the war machine idling, just in case. The Cold War provided the perfect justification: permanent readiness, not demobilization. Companies kept their lines warm, with government contracts ensuring steady business. Military spending became a permanent feature of the economy, not just a cost of war. The partnership between the Pentagon and industry was formalized, not dissolved. The peace dividend never arrived. Instead, it was reinvested in preparing for the next conflict. The ghost of World War II haunted American factories, fueling a new kind of economy. The arsenal of democracy became the arsenal of perpetual defense. In 1961, President Eisenhower named the military-industrial complex, a system where military, industry, and politics formed a self-sustaining triangle. The military wanted new weapons, corporations wanted profits, and politicians wanted jobs and votes. This triangle perpetuated high spending regardless of real threats. Eisenhower warned of its immense influence, economic, political, even spiritual, reaching every corner of government. Retired generals joined defense boards, companies lobbied for contracts, and politicians fought to keep bases open. The system justified itself by finding or inventing new threats, like the missile gap or distant conflicts. The goal: keep budgets flowing, factories running, and profits climbing. Eisenhower's warning wasn't heeded, it became the playbook. The complex grew more powerful than he imagined, shaping policy and spending for decades. The logic shifted, not just defense, but self-preservation and growth. The U.S. defense budget now hovers near $1 trillion, more than the next 10 countries combined. This staggering sum is not just a number, it's a reflection of priorities, power, and influence on a global scale. This money flows to a handful of corporate giants: Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics. These companies are the backbone of the American military-industrial complex, shaping the very tools and technologies of modern warfare. Their fortunes are tied to government policy. Their stock prices rise with global instability. When tensions flare or conflicts erupt, investors see opportunity, and these corporations see their value soar. The money trickles down to thousands of subcontractors in every state, ensuring political support. From small machine shops to high-tech electronics firms, this network touches nearly every congressional district. A vote against a weapons system is a vote against local jobs, a political risk few take. Elected officials know that supporting defense spending means supporting their own communities and re-election chances. The Pentagon has never passed a full audit. Inefficiency is built in. Billions can go unaccounted for, lost in a maze of bureaucracy and outdated systems. Cost overruns mean more revenue for contractors and bigger budgets for the Pentagon. Projects routinely exceed their original estimates, but the money keeps coming. The system is designed for maximum spending, not efficiency. Delays and overruns are not just tolerated, they're expected and often rewarded. Every dollar spent feeds a vast network, making the business of war too big to fail. The sheer scale of this ecosystem means that any disruption could ripple through the entire economy. The defense budget isn't just about security, it's about sustaining an economic ecosystem. Entire towns and cities depend on military contracts for their livelihoods. The trillions buy more than weapons. They buy political loyalty and economic stability. Campaigns are funded, alliances are forged, and influence is quietly cemented in the halls of power. The system's appetite is insatiable, and the money keeps flowing. Year after year, the cycle repeats, growing ever larger and more entrenched. The numbers tell the real story, a beast that feeds on public funds, growing stronger with every dollar, shaping the nation's destiny in ways seen and unseen. The military-industrial complex isn't just about weapons, it's woven into American life. Defense spending drives technology. The internet, GPS, and microchips all began as military projects. The Department of Defense is America's largest employer, supporting millions of jobs beyond the military. Universities receive billions in defense grants, making research and local economies dependent on military funding. Communities are built around bases and contractors. A canceled contract threatens entire regions. The system's genius is making itself indispensable, not just for defense, but for jobs and tech innovation. Cutting the Pentagon's budget means defunding local research and laying off thousands. The business of war is now a pillar of economic stability and technological supremacy. It blurs the line between military and civilian life, ensuring its survival. The interests of the complex have become America's interests. War is no longer just a policy. It's an economic foundation. For the military-industrial complex, conflict isn't just a crisis, it's the market itself, the engine that drives growth and innovation. Every new threat, real or perceived, becomes an opportunity for expansion. Since World War II, U.S. history has unfolded as a series of profit cycles, each one built around the emergence of a new enemy. Defense budgets swell and contract, but the overall trend is always upward. The model is simple but effective. Identify a threat, ramp up spending, and when that threat fades, quickly find or create a new one to justify continued investment. The Cold War justified decades of massive military buildup, with both sides locked in an arms race that seemed endless. After the Cold War, the War on Terror created a new golden age for defense contractors, opening up fresh markets and new lines of business. The enemy shifted from nations to shadowy networks. Terrorism, a war with no clear front lines and no foreseeable end, making it the perfect justification for ongoing operations. This new era justified not only permanent surveillance and intervention, but also a steady stream of spending on technology and intelligence. Post-9/11 wars have cost over $8 trillion, fueling record profits for contractors, private firms, and a vast network of suppliers. As counterinsurgency operations wane, new markets are emerging. Great power competition, cyber warfare, and the militarization of space, each promising its own cycle of spending. Each new domain promises not just innovation, but decades of lucrative contracts and reliable profits for those in the industry. The business model adapts to every shift in global politics, but the goal remains constant. Keep the money flowing, no matter the enemy or the era. War is no longer a last resort for national security. It's a business plan, carefully strategized and executed at the highest levels. The cycle of conflict ensures perpetual demand, keeping factories running and stock prices climbing. The forever war has become a forever revenue stream, a self-sustaining system where profit and conflict are inseparable. The business of war underwrites the U.S. economy and the global status of the dollar. The petrodollar system, oil traded in U.S. dollars, creates constant global demand for our currency. This allows America to run huge deficits and print money with few consequences. What backs this system? U.S. military power. The Navy patrols sea lanes, ensuring oil flows and the dollar remains king. Any challenge to this system, like selling oil in another currency, threatens U.S. economic dominance. Countries that tried, like Iraq and Libya, faced military intervention. The The defense budget isn't just about weapons, it's about maintaining global economic privilege. The more debt we accumulate, the more we depend on the dollar's status, and the military to protect it. This creates a feedback loop. More spending, more debt, more dependence on military power. The system is brilliant, but dangerously unstable. America's economic engine is fueled by war. Why can't we stop? The military-industrial complex is politically untouchable. Lobbying, campaign donations, and jobs in every state make defense spending a local issue for every politician. Voting against the budget is framed as voting against jobs and security. The industry's financial influence ensures its interests are always protected. Think tanks and media amplify threats, creating a climate of fear that justifies endless spending. The politics of money, jobs, and fear form an iron triangle. The system is designed to make cuts politically impossible. The spending never stops, by design. We've built the most powerful, expensive military in history, a system that turns war into permanent business. But at what cost? The US national debt soars past $40 trillion, much of it to fund this machine. We borrow from rivals to contain them, and our reliance on the petrodollar is a growing vulnerability. If the world stops needing our dollars, our economic foundation could collapse overnight. The moral cost is just as high. A nation built on a war economy will always find reasons for conflict. Endless wars have cost trillions, destabilized regions, and eroded our moral authority. At home, the language of war has militarized our politics and police. We face a choice: keep feeding the machine, or change course before it's too late. Eisenhower's warning echoes: will we listen, or ride this system to a dead end? The courage to change is the only way forward.